participants. Introducing first, residing in Candy Mountain, weighing at 180 pounds of pure magic. He is the real rock and roller, the international strut and stroller, the #1 soul brother. This is the title wrestling UK champion, Sugar Dunkerton! And his opponent, from Charlotte, North Carolina, weighing at 200 pounds, he is the PWX Innovative Television Champion, the revolutionary Darius Lockhart!
And welcome back. This is a 2 out of 3 falls English rules match between the ITV champion Darius Lockhart and the title wrestling UK champion Sugar Dunkerton. English rules. Can somebody explain to me the rules?
Yeah, how about one of you two do your job as commentators and explain the rules? I'm the color guy. Not because of my pigment, but because I'm the one that's supposed to make the lively comments.
I'll be the force of reason here, folks. This is an English rules match, and what that simply means are no headshots, no head strikes allowed, no closed fist strikes. They only get 2 rope breaks apiece for the entirety of the match. So they're really going to have to pay attention not to grab those ropes and break out. This is English styles match, so you really want to focus on the technical wrestling and the technical aspects of the sport.
And this is the original concept behind Pure. For those of you that like the behind-the-scenes stories of like, oh, how did this come to fruition? Well, originally Pure was supposed to be an English-style wrestling product in which we wanted the best pure wrestlers. We wanted the best people who were the best technical gifts. The ones that didn't want to go out there and just throw strikes. They wanted to show these fans what traditional wrestling was all about.
And we have here traditional chain wrestling between these two great athletes that both have done UK tours themselves. I believe that Darius Lockhart is going to go on his 2nd tour come November.
Absolutely.
And then Sugar Dunkerton is heading over on his 3rd. And it's great exposure for both of you guys, great learning experience for both of these guys, as Darius has been taken on quickly by the Pure fans, PWX fans, and grown in the Charlotte area. And I believe that has to have some negative connotations towards Sugar Dunkerton, who feels kind of like everybody thought he was a comedy act up to this point, Tommy.
Well, I mean, like, the way I look at it is this is almost like a tale of 2 cities, where we have Sugar versus Darius. Shug has always been like, hang on, 1, 2,
and he catches him into a surfboard.
Oh, what a beautiful surfboard.
Absolutely, a good old-fashioned American surfboard.
And this goes 1, 2, Darius kicks out, and this is what you can expect to see. Sugar Dunkerton had Darius Lockhart folded up like a pretzel. Darius, the technician that he is, was able to reverse that and turn it into a pinfall and submission attempt of his own.
Absolutely. And as I was saying earlier, this is like a tale of 2 cities, where they are 2 guys with kind of, I don't want to say similar styles, but you can clearly tell that Darius has watched some of the Sugar footage, where he took a little bit of the moves that he does from the old school Sugar Dunkerton days. And Sugar has always been kind of like a funny guy. He's always been, for lack of a better term, a comedy wrestler. As I know we're not supposed to say things like that, but he's always been more of a, I'd like to entertain these fans. Wins and losses don't matter to me.
Where Darius has always been more about the wrestling.
Exactly.
He's not worried about the character. Like, he's always worried about entertaining the fans, but he's more worried about getting the 1, 2, 3 than he is getting the cheap pop, if that's fair to say, Tom.
Absolutely, and you can see it where, like, Darius has done moves that I've seen Sugar hit 1,000 times, but Sugar will hit a little dance before it or after it. Darius doesn't do that. See, look at this. A moment like this where Sugar is tickling Darius Lockhart right now.
But I got to ask you guys, who does the events go to? You know, when it comes to English styles, Sugar Dunkerton just came back from a successful UK tour not too long ago. Go ahead.
And in all honesty, to answer your question of who does this benefit more, and I hate to say the word kayfabe when we're talking about this on camera. But in all honesty, it all depends on what crowd you're in front of. With a crowd like the PWX Pure crowd, where they want a little bit more, they want to be a little bit more entertained. They look at it like,
oh, now senior official Kevin Pierce
Tickle
being
war.
tickled. It's a tickle free-for-all.
It's a tickle war.
see, and you can see it. Sugar right now is making Darius play his game. It is not the other way around. Sugar is not wrestling a serious match. He is forcing Darius to entertain these fans, these insipid idiots that sit in front of the crowd. He is forcing
Don't
him
call him
to
that.
entertain them.
And that's a very good point. If Sugar can bring Darius into his world, and this is Darius' own crowd, Sugar has to feel comfortable. So if he can bring Darius into his style, he has complete advantage.
Absolutely.
But when it comes to style and everything, I gotta say that this is not the first 2 out of 3 falls match that Darius Lockhart has had this year. He has some kind of advantage. He's used to long matches. This plays right along his alley.
Yeah, but absolutely. But like I said, with this pure crowd, with the fans that we see here tonight in this venue, they want to be entertained. They don't care about wins and losses. They care about going home happy that they just spent their hard-earned money to see this show tonight.
And I have to talk about what we just saw. There was a scoop suplex, and I've never seen it before. Dunkerton counted it into a wrist lock. When you talk about technical wrestling, these are things that these crowds are not used to seeing. Darius kind of got a side of it the first shot in the Utsuke, but that's completely innovative to turn a suplex into a wrist lock.
Oh, absolutely. And we've seen Darius hit this move before. This stretches the groin region in one of the worst ways humanly possible for an anatomically correct male.
And if you've ever pulled your groin, folks, picture that you're sitting at home with a groin injury and somebody is just tugging constantly on your leg.
Brad, you seem like one of those people that pulls your groin every night. And please don't say tugging when you say the word groin. That sounds...
Did I say tugging?
You did. You definitely did say tugging.
Really?
Just so we're clear.
Really?
Focus on the action in the ring,
He
Brad.
always brings something to a
But
different
Sugar
level, Tommy.
Dunkerton was able to reverse it, so now Darius is the one in the precarious position.
Getting his... No, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to play your games. Back in the middle of the ring.
And see, no. Look
Darius
at how
working on
smart
his
Darius is. Look at how smart Darius is right now, showing that he is stretched before his matches. Something as simple as stretching shows that Sugar was not prepared for a move like that. He thought Darius would kind of play by the rules, but this move's kind of a aesthetically dirty move.
And look at him.
With
up
9
these.
sit-ups, that's 9 more sit-ups than I've done in 20 years.
Why are you saying 20? More than your life.
Well,
Let's
when
be
I was in
honest.
middle school, we had to do 10 to start out gym class every
And
morning.
you only hit the 5. You only hit 5. I was
believe
in
he
your
did the
same
10.
gym class,
I
Brad.
believe he did the 10.
I faked the 10.
Oh, come on.
And Sugar Dunkerton refusing to stand up. He has his feet cleverly perched up against Darius Lockhart's leg, so Darius couldn't pull him up into position.
I mean, and right now, traditionally, I would not talk about what these gentlemen are wearing, but right now, Darius Lockhart's tights. Can we focus on that right now? The cameraman's looking at it. Google it.
Bar
Google
95.
it, folks.
I was there last night, right?
Nope. You clearly have no idea what his revolution's all about. Google it, folks, please. Genuinely, we would all appreciate it if
So
you
wait a
Google
minute.
that
You want
cause.
people to stop watching this to go Google something when you can just explain
It's
it?
called the internet, heck.
I'm
you
just
know that they can
saying.
hit the pause button and then
Why would they
go
want
back
to hit
and
the
watch
pause button?
again.
It's such a great match.
It is a fantastic match.
And
It's
you
a
want
match
them
that
to
you have to
press
watch
pause.
2 or 3
And you
times.
want them to press
At
pause.
least once, yeah.
Okay,
Come on.
can we get back to watching what's in the ring, where every headlock takeover has been met with the leg scissors, and these two are just going back and forth. And, look at the reaction of the crowd. Nobody's staring at their phone. This may not be the traditional fight that you're used to seeing in this place, but everybody appreciates what they're seeing and what these two men are able to accomplish right now.
What more importantly that I've personally noticed is the fact that neither one of these 2 men have gone for the ropes. Knowing good and damn well that
gotta
it's
save
way
them.
easier to just touch that rope and get out of that hold. These men both know that they only have 2 rope breaks allowed per match.
You got to save them. You got to save him. It's still too early. You haven't seen a fall yet. You got to wait later on to where you really hurt. Your battery's low to get that, to use one of your rope breaks.
And you see, and you have to think Darius is wishing he was close to those ropes right now, because the way he had, the angle he has his arms bent right now, the human bones are not supposed to angle that way. A 2 count, Sugar was able to pop out.
You got to give it to Sugar Dunkerton. Throughout this match, he has been doing nothing but stretching out Darius Lockhart. And, of course, like you said, Darius Lockhart stretches. He gets prepared and conditioned before his matches. But Sugar Dunkerton is definitely giving him an extra stretch this match.
And right now, this is not your traditional wrestling match. If you've noticed, the fans are very silent during this match. It's not due to lack of enthusiasm. It is literally due to the fact that this kind of technical prowess is not particularly shown off during professional wrestling nowadays. So normally, professional wrestling is a mind game. As of late, it's been a psychology game. This is a match about pure wrestling ability. Sugar just won. Sugar used one of his rope breaks.
They've used the rope break.
Sugar now only has 1 rope break left in this match.
Has been ducked one of his rope breaks.
And that's huge, a huge advantage for Darius to be able to get Sugar to use one of those rope breaks relatively early on into this match.
Now, if you notice, though, so traditionally during the English rules matches, the commentator does exactly what our commentator did and let them know exactly what rule was used. Both men stopped in the ring, Darius stopped to listen to the commentator. Suge understood, seeing as he just got back from England. He saw that maybe if I don't listen to that guy up there saying things, that one moment that Darius is not paying attention
look at the
is an advantage.
Flexibility of Sugar. I'm sorry to cut you off, Tommy, but look at the flexibility of what Sugar was able to just pull off. A move that you didn't think you would be able to reverse those long legs. He's using that to complete advantage. Now he's pushing down on those shoulder area of Darius Lockhart.
I don't know why you're treating Suge like he doesn't know how to wrestle. The man has 15 years of experience. Just because he decided to have fun with the first 5 years doesn't mean the last 10 have been wasted.
Darius able to get his shoulder up. Senior official Kevin Pierce was able to catch it. That was a really close fall for Darius Lockhart.
And as you can see, that shot to the body, you got to think, because they're not allowed to give each other headshots. So that was very smart on the part of Darius Lockhart to give Sugar Dunkerton that body shot like he just did in the middle of the ring.
And right now, this has been a technical clinic, folks. This is good old-fashioned traditional 1, 2, 3.
And Sugar Dunkerton gets the first fall of this 2 out of 3 falls match.
And you could almost see it on Sugar's face. He didn't believe that Darius fell for one of the older tricks in the book.
It wasn't just Sugar.
Now we're going into the 20-second rest area. And to get back to what you were saying, Tommy, about the crowd being really into it quiet, you can kind of relate it to like a thriller movie versus a suspense movie.
Well, I feel like you can cut the tension in here with a knife.
It is very tense in here. My hair's on end. I have goosebumps watching what we're seeing. And everybody here, usually when you go to a show, people talking amongst themselves on their cell phones. Nobody sells out. And
hey, look at Darius. He's almost frustrated right now. He didn't believe that first pinfall. It kind of frustrated him a little bit. It got him changes his attitude right now. He definitely is trying to win the second fall. Now he's fighting from, he's wrestling from behind. He's down the fall. He needs to win 2 in a row to win the match. He is definitely showing his little frustration right now.
Absolutely. Darius right now is going back to his Greco-Roman and freestyle roots. Seems to be, he looks like he was trying to hook him in for a modified Rings of Saturn-like submission maneuver. And right now, Darius, once again, going back to his Greco-Roman roots, showing, hey, I don't need these ropes. I don't need to play to everybody. I'm here to wrestle.
Yes, and wrestling is
with a capital W.
And to go back to the ropes, we questioned earlier Sugar Dunkerton using that rope break earlier in the match, using it that early.
It worked out for him, though, didn't it?
He has the advantage now because it led him to get the first fall. Instead of tapping out in that moment, he was able to go up 1-0 so far on Darius. So now Darius playing catch-up, Sugar with a decisive advantage so far.
And Darius was just picking him apart on the floor. He worked the upper body, then he went up to a working the lower body, doing a almost like a half crab version.
And here's the thing that most of these fans at home do not realize. And it's from someone that, me personally, I did freestyle wrestling in high school. I was a freestyle wrestler in college. It's how I got started in professional wrestling. This freestyle, this British style, it takes a little bit more out of you. While yes, you're not jumping as much, just that physical toll of having to constantly be moving and flexing every muscle in your body to try to adjust, to get the person into that pinning predicament.
Oh, and
It takes a lot more out of you than your traditional wrestling match.
And if you notice, Darius and Suge are staying away from the head and face area because they are not allowed to touch that area under English rules, but they are allowed to beat the tar out of each other's bodies. And right now, that's what Sugar Dunkerton is looking to do.
Absolutely, and that takes away one of the rope breaks they are given during the match. And if they do it multiple times, the ref is allowed to award a pinfall to the person.
Oh, no!
And just that is not legal.
no.
Just a closed
Oh, no.
fist straight to the face.
So right now, Sugar Dunkerton has 0 rope breaks left, and you can see it on his face right now. He knows he done messed up.
And you got to say, they took the rope break away from him. At least they didn't take a fall away from him, Tommy.
They should.
So he is under.
They should have. He still had a rope break left, Hector. Come on.
I'm not the referee. Come on.
I'm sorry.
Look at Dunkerton apologizing for that strike to the face.
Well, apologies won't take it back. You still got to win the match now, don't you?
And you got to see, I don't honestly think that was a vicious attack by Sugar Dunkerton. I think that was something where he was frustrated. He's been in this position. He was up one
uppercut.
Darius.
Darius showing a little bit of fight in him, showing a side of him that we don't often get to
Chop
see.
the forearm, a kick to the thighs, taking out those.
What an elbow.
A nice
Look for the
elbow
pin.
from Sugar Dunkerton. 1, 2, kick out from Darius.
Now, gentlemen, I have to ask you both. I don't know why I called you both gentlemen.
We are.
Women,
It's 2018. We're gender fluid.
you both have seen a lot of wrestling in your day. In a PWX pure ring, and especially on the Southeast Coast, have you ever seen a match with this kind of style with it, to it?
No, I have not. And what's interesting is go back to what you say to point out the differences. In a typical match, there's little moments to where the wrestlers will catch their breaths. Throughout this entire match, other than the 20-second rest period, they have not led up on each other. And that's something that we are not used to seeing. This is constant, continuous chain wrestling. Your cardio has to be on point. Your technical ability has to be on point. And even more so, the referee is under a lot of scrutiny to make sure all these rules are enforced.
And look at Dunkerton right now with the advantage, and you've seen different moves throughout the match.
He has him into a scorpion deadlock.
No, did Darius let go? Is he feeling his hamstring?
Let's see. Oh, and then Sugar Dunkerton realizing that and going directly for that hamstring area. Now, if you paying attention, Sugar has been attacking those legs all
He
night.
has been
Darius.
attacking the legs. He's caught him in a four-leaf clover. He caught him in the Regal stretch. He's catching him throughout the whole time in different maneuvers.
So what you're saying is he's focusing on a body part.
A lot of body parts.
Oh, and now he goes back to the body, making sure not to get penalized again by hitting the chest, but by hitting the face, but going to the chest, the ribs, and now affecting the back area of Darius Lockhart.
Pinned.
Darius able to get out of two, but you got to see they're both laboring now. It's getting to the point of the match where they've been constantly going for probably 7, 8, 9 minutes, Tommy, and this is where cardio comes into play.
Well, and in my personal opinion, which is always 110% correct, this match is a little bit more difficult on them because if you can get kicks to the face, punches to the face, those punches and kicks to the brain will rattle you. What you're doing now is you have to break a person down physically so much that the rest of their body tells their brain, hey, you need to stop.
And that's something these wrestlers don't want to quit. So they may not listen to their body until it's too late, Tommy.
No, absolutely. And look at Darius Lockhart with the advantage. He went from the leg all the way to the top body, but look at Darius Lockhart countering back and forth with a pin. And
I mean, and they're both going for Rings of Saturn-esque maneuvers, basically modifiers on the traditional 1, 2, 3. Oh my God!
Oh my God!
Darius Lockhart with the second fall.
That was so quick that I thought Ian Maxwell made the pin. That's how quick that was. Wow!
It is even now. The next fall will
Wins this
win it.
match. I don't know why you're saying it so calmly. The next person to get a pinfall wins.
Now we get a traditional 20-second break in between the falls.
And the 20-second break has been something that has been adopted from the ancient Greek style of wrestling, in which they did do rounds and they were given a 1-minute break in between. But due to the modern era and everyone being more highly tuned trained athletes, we've had to cut it down from generation to generation to generation.
And Sugar just yelling at Darius saying, if you want to fight, I came for a fight. Let's finish this on our feet.
And they're absolutely on their feet because they've both been working each other's lower extremities throughout the match.
Yeah, right now these feet are very, very educated. These feet graduated from Harvard with those precise kicks.
Now, Tommy, you mentioned earlier that you did freestyle wrestling in high school and college. How important are those 20-second rest periods to being able to continue?
Did you not hear the story about the ancient Greeks, about how they used to be given a minute? Nowadays, these are fine-tuned athletes. These aren't two people that are some jabron scrubs. These are two athletes at the peak of their game. This is Sugar Dunkerton, an Impact superstar, taking on Darius Lockhart, the PWX Innovative Tag Team Champion.
Wait.
This is two peak superstars going at it. That 20 seconds makes all the difference in the world.
As Darius was shook, as Sugar was shook and falling, Darius caught him a little bit high with one of those blows. Kevin Pierce making sure to point out to him that is not allowed in this match. But now Sugar Dunkerton has him in a sleeper hold.
And of course, Kevin Pierce using his referee's discretion, which he has used several times over the course of his career here as senior referee at PWX.
Wait a minute, is that what
pointing
they?
out.
Pantherplex!
Pantherplex.
It's going for the pin. Here's a 1, 2, and then 3.
Sugar's able to kick out of it.
And notice how Sugar, when he kicked out, he used the arm that Darius did not have covered. That is the arm that Darius. Once again, this goes back to the whole thing we've always talked about: veteran awareness versus rookie awareness.
Well, it goes back to the technical ability, too. In a technical fight, you cannot when you're going for a pin, you need to cover that whole entire upper body area. You cannot, as in the traditional match where their brain may be blacked out a little bit, you can't rely on that.
But right now, it's picking up. He has arms look. Is he going? I can't even tell for what kind of move he's going for. Oh, my
Double
goodness.
underhook power bomb.
2, head.
Just incredible, Darius.
Into the half Boston crab.
So he was able to kick out of the pin, but now.
Hey, look at what he's doing. He's attacking the leg while he's stretching it out.
And of course, this is an homage to one of Sugar's favorite wrestlers. It's weird to say, Lance Storm. Lance Storm is a person that inspired Sugar Dunkerton to become the man he is today.
Darius Lockhart had a hold of the ropes, but Sugar did not obey the official's command and drug him off of it.
You can see the frustration. This ain't the normal Sugar Dunkerton.
No, absolutely. Look, these guys have been going on what? Maybe
Wait, you got
minutes.
him.
Hold on.
1, 2, and oh!
Look, these two guys have been going what? Uppercut.
Got him, folks.
Ooh, I've been trying to say that these two guys have been going what? Maybe 15 minutes. There has to be some sort of desperation by this time to get the last fall.
Well, maybe they've been drinking some of those clean juice drinks that our sponsors have been giving us. Clean juice.
Where juice comes clean.
And here goes Darius Lockhart. He's up.
Darius
Another
Lockhart,
uppercut.
European uppercut.
Double chop to the chest.
I heard he calls that the colonizing European uppercut.
Oh,
back and
did
forth.
you hear the thud off of Darius Lockhart's chest as he goes right back to the hamstrings of Sugar Dunkerton?
Back to it with those educated feet. But it's not enough.
And once again, this would be a moment where Sugar would throw a massive punch or close fist strike onto Darius, but he knows he does not want to lose that final pinfall via a disqualification.
Hey, look, Sugar Dunkerton is not the only one with a strike. Darius Lockhart gives people a straight
has
edge
him down.
jab.
He looks like he's up in a triangle choke if Sugar can
No,
fight his way out
Darius
of
has
this.
it into a guillotine.
That's a triangle. That's a triangle. That's why his feet are in the
That is
shape of
a
a
triangle.
triangle.
No rope breaks left.
You were right.
And now it looks like Darius got him. He's got that Rings of Saturn modified maneuver locked in. Is he going to try to go for the crossface to finish him off?
And Sugar was reaching for the
done,
run.
he's
Sugar
done, he's
taps.
done, he's
Sugar
done.
taps. Darius has gained his second fall.
And look at the crowd. They're starting to get on their feet. The respect for these two superstars here tonight. What an amazing show of technical abilities.
But your winner of the match is your PWX ITV champion, the revolutionary Darius Lockhart.
And